So I'm out here at the park with a Hyper ST. Got two 3S packs in there, that's 6S obviously. Still on the 4076 1700 kV motor because my new 4092 still hasn't arrived yet. So on 1752 gearing, which is 62 miles an hour, which is way too fast. And that tractor over there that you can see is just cutting the grass now. So I'm going to be running on cut grass, so it's probably not going to go 62. In fact, nowhere near. I'm expecting mid to high 50s. But I'm going to tape the GPS to the rear wing and we'll see how we go. So sorry about the wind noise, there is a bit of a breeze now. But I have taped the GPS on the rear wing. Then I'll film it just with the normal camera and we'll see if it overheats or not. Track, start. Sorry about the wind noise if there is any. Yeah, it is working. Alright, let's do a speed run. Very hard to get to full throttle without it doing a wheelie. No. Oh man. Big crash. Big crash. Right, we'll stop that there. See what it got. 51 miles an hour. That's not too bad considering I didn't even get to full throttle. Does look like we've snapped the bottom hub though on that roll, so that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, I just had a massive tumble at 50 miles an hour there, snapped that bottom hub, obviously bent the rear wing up again as usual, and you can see it's covered in grass, but luckily I've brought the Xray and the Savage, so I'm going to go get that out of the car, put this back. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. Speedrun disaster. Shame I didn't get it on video, but oh well. It's a bit later in the day now, and as you may see, the Xray hasn't gone very well either. So we've had a bit of a disaster day today. Basically, the wire coming out of the ESC has desoldered itself from the motor. I think that is because the motor blew up. You can see there's a big blue patch on it there, and yeah, it's not very keen on moving. So I'm going to take this motor out, see what's up with it. It's the Surpass Hobby 2000 kV 4076. Was running on 6S. It reached about, I think, 85 degrees on the first set of 6S's in there. Oh, sorry, the two 3S packs, which I was running in the Hyper ST. Thought I'd finish them off in this, and then ran the big 6S brick, which I didn't film any of. But basically, it got into the middle of the park and let out a load of blue smoke out the motor. So we'll see what's wrong with it anyway. Here we go, we've got the motor out. All of the bullets on the actual motor seem to be okay. It's this bullet here that got desoldered, and you can see that wire's from the ESC. There are blobs of solder on the chassis just there where it's melted, and there was a blob on the actual motor as well. Now I can spin the motor, but it doesn't feel very good at all. So let's take the motor off the mount and see what's gone on inside. Right, so we've got the motor apart. You can see it's not very clean inside. It's the rear bearing, then a shim. There's the rotor. Rotor looks okay. So that's nice. Oh, there goes the shim. Right, then we've got the front bearing in there, and the front of it. Obviously it's not very clean inside. And then here is the inside of the can. And get that in the light. Now you can see here, it looks like a couple of the wires have snapped. So I don't know what's causing it to not spin freely, but it could be those wires there, because obviously the rotor looks fine. So I'm guessing somewhere inside it's shorted out. Right, on closer inspection you can probably see in there that wire that is split does look like the culprit, because about half of the wire isn't on the wind anymore. So I'm guessing when that happens, all the current is trying to pass through a really small bit of wire, and then it obviously gets super hot and then melts everything. So that is what I think has happened there. That was on the orange wire, which I believe was the one connected to this, because I believe the orange and the blue were swapped around. So yeah, that motor is definitely toast, quite literally, which is a bit of a shame, but at least I've got a spare rotor, so that's always a good thing, I guess. The bearings in it as well aren't really very good anymore. That should spin for days, but it doesn't. So yeah, not great bearings either. Anyway, I'll have to resolder that bullet back on, and I'll put a 3670 in it for now. So this is the spare motor that I've got. It's a 3670 2150 kV. I have measured it on a motor test Tuesday. Can't remember what kV it actually was. However, it's in much better condition than the 4076 it's going to replace. So you can see the size difference there. It's actually a bit longer once the ends are on, and obviously it's a larger diameter as well. So anyway, this will do for now. I'll plop that in. Probably won't be able to run it on 6S though. The other thing as well, I bought this motor in May 2018, so it's lasted just over 2 years, and it was £29 off eBay from China. So yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. 15 quid a year, cheaper than a nitro engine. So yeah, not bad. Right, desk's a bit of a mess, but I have successfully resoldered the bullet onto that wire. I've also re-heat shrinked the others because the heat shrink around them had melted. This one is a bit shorter now. It was a little bit shorter before, but hopefully it'll have a better connection now. I'm going to connect it up to this motor and just try it quickly on 2S just to see if the ESC works, and if the ESC doesn't work I'll have to get a new one of those as well. But hopefully it's okay, and it was just the motor which I've now put back together, and it still feels a bit weird. Anyway, let's hook this up and hopefully the ESC still works. Right, moment of truth. I've got it all hooked up, 2S is plugged in, motor's hooked up, the bullet's going pretty nicely, so I'll turn it on camera just to see if anything exciting happens. Well, the ESC isn't beeping like it normally does. Normally does however many beeps plugged in on the cells. So steering works though. So maybe the ESC is dead, but the BC isn't. That's a bit weird. So just try something else a second. Right, we've got the 6S in now, which has just finished doing its storage charge, so no beeping from the ESC. Not looking good. No lights all this time either, it lit up last time. Might be dead. Right, I've just swapped 2 motor wires around to see if it makes any difference. Remote's on. Steering still works. No power, so I think the ESC's dead as well. So that's not good. Oh dear. Right, so basically the ESC is also dead. Don't really want to buy a new ESC and a new motor, so I would only use this temporarily while I ordered a new motor if that was working. So I have got the Xray spares roller, and as you can see it has all of the bits to be a nitro car, apart from the fuel tank which is in the garage. So what I'm thinking is take the front and rear off this, or mainly the front because there's most of the rear here. I'll probably rebuild it and basically put the LRP engine in here for now while the Hyper MT's down, although I might have got the Hyper MT hopefully sorted by then. So we'll get a new engine for this and a new exhaust. So that's all I would need. A clutch as well, obviously, and a clutch bell. This is getting expensive now. But basically, to buy a new ESC and a new motor for this, it's going to be like about 100 quid. So I can buy an engine and an exhaust and a clutch instead for way more money, and it gives me an excuse to rebuild the car as well. And I do kind of want more nitro rather than more electric now, so why not? Got the bits, give it a go, see what happens.